Hey folks, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. So, if you're a Killer Instinct fan, there's one name that you must have heard. Gargos. His influence is just undeniable, woven through the KI story. This guy calls himself a god, plays everyone like fiddles, wields astral magic, and yeah, he's pretty much the ultimate final boss energy for the KI crew. Today, we're going to peel back the layers, look into his origins, break down his powers, unpack his manipulative games, and track how this legendary demon evolved over the years. But before we go into our explanation, we do have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Origins, form, and personality. So, first things first, who, or should I say what, is Gargos exactly? Gargos is something older, weirder, something called an astral lord. He belongs to a strong race of energy beings called the Icaron, chilling in the astral plane, a reality very, very different from ours. These guys predate Earth, like way back. Gargos himself has seen stars born, so you can get an idea of how ancient we're talking. And that tiger spirit Jago thought was guiding him was just one of Gargos' old masks, a trick up his sleeve for later. His look is pure intimidation, designed to make mortals quake. It's as if a massive, statuesque gargoyle from your worst nightmares got super jacked. He's taller than almost everyone, and he looks like he's carved from a dark stone. Two huge horns sweep back from his forehead that frame his ugly face with glowing eyes and a mouthful of fangs. His enormous, leathery bat wings are not just for show, as they let him fly and complete his demonic look. Toss in cloven hooves instead of feet, and you've got a recipe for terror. This physical body is a container for the insane amount of energy he commands. Coming to his personality, Gargos has the biggest ego in the universe. He genuinely thinks he's a god and that everyone else, especially humans, should bow down and worship him because for him, they're nothing more than ants. He's got a bottomless craving for control, not just winning, but total subjugation, and he enjoys chaos and suffering like it's entertainment for him. Needless to say, he is cruel and loves messing with people's heads and sees backstabbing and lies as totally valid tools to get what he wants. Empathy? Remorse? Not in his vocabulary. The only emotions he seems to feel are irritation when his plans go sideways or pure rage when someone dares challenge his divinity. He understands that his strength gives him the right to rule and reshape reality however he sees fit. Serve him or be crushed. Simple as that. At the end of the day, he wants eternal domination, fueled by the endless worship and life force sucked out of the countless souls across who knows how many dimensions. He can play the long game, plotting for millennia, but push him and he'll unleash apocalyptic fury. Rise to power and manipulation of Jago. Okay, how did this cosmic terror first stick his claws into the KI storyline? Subtly, very subtly. Way back before the first Killer Instinct tournament even kicked off, Gargos was pulling strings from the shadows. He didn't burst onto the scene. Instead, he slithered in, disguised as the tiger spirit. This spirit cozied up to the monk Jago during meditation, feeding him a line about fulfilling his destiny, taking down the evil Ultratech Corporation, and cleansing the world. Jago, devout and looking for purpose, totally bought it. He trained under the Tiger Spirit's guidance, got juiced up with serious power, and walked into that first tournament thinking he was a holy warrior on a divine mission. Plot twist. The Tiger Spirit was Gargos all along. This was less about justice and more about a long con. By strengthening Jago, Gargos was grooming a pawn and slowly poisoning the soul of a dedicated warrior. The mask only dropped after Jago had done the dirty work, beating Fulgor and helping take down the tournament's big bad, Idol. Once Idol was out of the picture, the tiger spirit revealed its true monstrous nature. Imagine Jago's horror, realizing the power he'd been using came from the very type of evil he swore to destroy. Ouch. They go into great detail about this in the 2013 Killer Instinct reboot. Gargos focuses on Jago's fears and annoyances while maintaining the tiger spirit persona. He plays on Jago's desire to be the ultimate hero against Ultratech by displaying amazing strength in front of him that is far beyond what he has learned. Gargos gradually twisted Jago's spirit by inflating his ego and muttering commands for obedience. Shadow Jago was created as a result of this ongoing pressure. Gargos was looking for more than a powerful slave. Taking advantage of the strife Jago sparked, he sought to establish himself in our world. When Jago at last began to resist the influence, Gargos quickly broke the friendly act, exposed his true identity, and essentially put Jago on a giant target. It shows just how cunning Gargos is, able to twist even a hero's best intentions against them. Return in Killer Instinct 2 and Cult Leadership. After the dust settled from the first tournament, Gargos was still locked away in the astral plane. He'd been banished there for 2,000 years, back by some seriously tough ancient Earth warriors. His ticket out? Pure dumb luck. Or rather, Ultratech's epic screw-up. Still smarting from their loss, but always looking for the next big thing, Ultratech started messing with time travel. Naturally, this went spectacularly wrong. Their experiments ripped a hole in space-time, shattering Gargos' ancient prison. Even worse, Ultratech accidentally flung Jago, Orchid, TJ, Combo, and their own Fulgor unit 2,000 years into the past, right where and when Gargos was breaking free. So, Gargos finds himself chilling in Earth's past, free at last. His first order of business was payback. He hunted down the descendants, or maybe even the original warriors who banished him, and wiped them out. Then, he set up shop in a suitably evil-looking castle and got busy reclaiming his power. He revived or started a cult dedicated entirely to worshipping him. These fanatics became his spies, spread his influence, and performed rituals to pump him up. His return also meant his old beef with Idol, another monstrous warlord imprisoned back then, was back on. Talk about chaos. Gargos' main goal in Killer Instinct 2 was crystal clear. Crush everyone, lock down his base in the past, and conquer the planet he felt was his by right, turning humanity into his worshippers. Astral Powers and Combat Strategy. Let's talk about what makes Gargos so terrifying in a fight. His powers are off the charts, stemming from the fact that he is an Ikoran astral lord. He can literally rip your soul out, either absorbing it to get stronger or using it for other nasty purposes. We saw how he corrupts souls with Jago, so possession is definitely in his toolkit. Being an astral being means reality is kind of flexible for him. He can hop between the astral plane and our world, opening portals wherever he wants. This lets him pop in and out, dodge attacks, and even pull things and human beings from other dimensions. But what about flight? Well, of course, those huge wings aren't just for looks. Teleportation? Yup. Often through those signature portals, making him unpredictable. On top of the space magic, he hits like a truck and is incredibly tough, thanks to that rocky hide. He can blast raw energy like a projectile, famously called Oblivion, and he's not afraid to call for backup. In the 2013 game, he summons his minions, Izek and Dretch. Izek is the stony brawler who causes quakes, and Dretch is the disgusting ranged attacker spitting bile puddles. Fighting Gargos means dealing with his gang too. Oh, and did I mention he's effectively immortal? immortal, ageless, though maybe not entirely indestructible. Some lore even hints he can warp reality, at least in places he controls. Now, how does this translate to gameplay, especially in the 2013 KI? Gargos will often hang back, chucking oblivion projectiles or using his tricky portal punches, literally punching you through mini portals to keep you out. His flight lets him dominate the air, setting up dive attacks or just getting out of dodge. His little buddies, Izek and Dretch, are a major part of his game. Playing Gargos well means knowing when to summon them to help with combos, pressure your opponent, block projectiles, or just generally be annoying distractions. It adds a whole resource management layer, and his instinct mode, Stone Skin, often called Worship, basically turns him into a juggernaut. He gets armor that lets him absorb hits without flinching while still taking the damage. While in Instinct, he can even sacrifice his minions for big perks, like getting health back or filling his meter faster. Beating him means breaking through his keep-away game, handling his flight and teleports, dealing with those pesky minions, and somehow cracking that stone armor when he powers up. Good luck! Role in Shadow Lords and Astral Conquest. In the 2013 game's big story mode, Shadow Lords, Gargos is the main event, the final big boss. How did he get back this time? Well, thank the ever-scheming ancient sorcerer Kan-Ra. While Kan-Ra was trying to summon and control powerful entities through portals, he accidentally peeked into the astral plane. Gargos, ever watchful, saw Kan-Ra's ambition and all the chaos swirling around Ultratech and the fighters. He saw an opportunity. Gargos played Kan-Ra like a fiddle, letting the sorcerer think he was the one pulling the strings, while Gargos gathered intel and planned his grand entrance. When the moment was right, Gargos ripped through the weakened dimensional walls using Kan-Ra's portal network. But Gargos didn't just pop over to Earth for tea. Nope. First, he took over the entire astral plane. He corrupted it, enslaved or destroyed other astral beings, and turned it into his personal fortress and staging ground for invading our world. Total boss move. From this corrupted realm, Gargos unleashed his invasion force. Leading the charge were the Omens, winged, masked creatures made of pure astral energy, or in other words, extensions of Gargos himself. They were the scouts and commanders. Then came the foot soldiers called the Mimics. These are dark, twisted copies of Earth's fighters, forged from corrupt energy and maybe stolen soul bits, juiced up with Gargos' power. And that's what Shadow Lords is all about. Gargos throwing omens and endless waves of mimics at Earth, trying to spread chaos, drain the planet's energy, and harvest enough souls to become a full-blown god ruling over our dimension. As the player, you have to build a team, fight back across the globe, collect mystical artifacts called Guardians to help out, and finally take the fight directly to Gargos. The final battle is intense. Gargos has multiple health bars, crazy buffs you need specific guardians to counter, and he constantly throws his minions at you. Plus, he pops that instinct mode frequently. Beating him is both about skill and about the prep work you did throughout the campaign. His objective is terrifyingly simple. He wants to enslave humanity, drain Earth dry, and add it to his collection of conquered worlds. Legacy and evolution across games. It's fascinating to see how Gargos changed across the KI games, reflecting not just evolving tech, but also deeper storytelling. Back in the original, he wasn't even in the game visually. No model, no fight, just a narrative twist setting up his manipulative nature. Foundational, but totally behind the scenes. Killer Instinct 2/Killer Instinct Gold 1996, Gargos arrives as the main villain and final boss. This is where we get his classic look, the giant, winged, stone gargoyle demon. His backstory drops. The banishment, the time travel escape, the rivalry with Idol, the plan to conquer ancient Earth. As a playable character, usually via cheat code, he was strong, Flight, dive kicks, fireballs, a solid arcade boss, but maybe simpler by today's standards. Killer Instinct 2013. This is Gargos fully unleashed. The reboot massively expanded his lore, connecting him to the astral plane, the Icaran race, and Conra's meddling. His visual design kept the core elements, but cranked the detail and intimidation factor way up. The Shadow Lords mode gave his invasion a whole narrative arc, and there's a night and day difference in the gameplay. The minion system with Izek and Dretch, the portal punches, oblivion zoning, and the game-changing instinct mode. He became an incredibly deep, strategic character focused on control, resources, and tricky movement. From a background character to the main deal, Gargos' evolution mirrors the growth of the series itself, and today, his place as KI's ultimate antagonist is well known. Marvelous verdict. So that's the story of Gargos. You gotta appreciate how he grew from just a concept into this really well-defined villain with a unique look, devastating abilities, and, especially in the 2013 game, some really interesting and strategic gameplay. At this point, Gargos feels like a core part of Killer Instinct's identity. Definitely earned his reputation as one of the fighting game genre's most memorable antagonists. A true classic villain. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Gargos. Is he your favorite KI villain? What stands out most to you about him? Let me know down in the comments section. As always, if you enjoyed the video, hitting that like button really helps out, and consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell if you want to catch more content like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hey, and if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe out there. Thanks, everyone.